everybody, Junior Cruddy here and or Ready for Short, and today we're just going to be going over the Jacko trailer. So we're just going to be looking through the Jacko trailer, seeing some things, some things we can point out and all, any other cool stuff like that. So I'm going in with the pre-notion that the video has already been watched. So I already watched this trailer about 2 or 3 times already, so that's why I just wanted to go through and just point out some things, just do a general analysis of our character and stuff like that. So I don't want to ramble too much. But yeah, if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it down below. But I will be going through the whole trailer, but there will be like stopping and pausing in between and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to say I think it'd be a good idea if you watch the trailer fully first, so it's like where we're stopping and stuff, and you won't like you can see it all at once for yourself. But we will be playing the whole trailer through, but it will be some stopping stuff. So, but yeah, that's what I need to say. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it and let's start analyzing the trailer. So Jacko was pretty interesting. She's a returning character from the Exit series, and basically what she did was she had her normals were kind of like mid to short range. She didn't really have that many long range normals if you didn't count like her 6H. But other than that, she used like her minions, right? Like right here they say something like a little description of her, right? So she used like her minions. Like she set up the people, like the meme is like, oh, she's a tower defense character. Yeah, dominates the battle with an assembly of servants. Yeah. So like the meme with her is like, oh, she's a tower defense character. But basically in Exit, she would use her servants to like help her attack and stuff. And like she would set them up for like knockdown and stuff like that, right? So for example, you can see one of her minions right here. As you can see the little guy right here with the one shield and the lollipop, that's like her minions or servants. That's who they are. So basically in Exit, how it worked is if you did down P, K, or S, she was set on a minion. She had 3 minions. She had a punch version, a kick version, a slash version. I think the punch version attacked on the ground. The kick version, like they was in the air and they would attack aerial, and the slash version I think would attack aerial too. I believe that's how it was. It was 2 aerial and 1 grounded. And she could set them, and then like she could use something. She would use the input down S to set up something called like the organ. It would be called the organ, and then from corresponding buttons of punch, kick, slash, or heavy slash. After you did like the organ, she could do like different stuff like call all her houses back immediately, level up her servants, blow her servants up. What you would see in this trailer. And she also had this thing where she had a force field that wouldn't negate all projectiles. But that didn't involve her servant. She could do that with or without. And another thing you should know, when she called out her houses in Exit, you could destroy the houses. So that was like a counterplay to her servants. But right here, you can see one of her servants or her minions out right now, right? So what you see is this is her old normal. So this is her 3S. This is her 3H. So this is what she would do to knock opponents down, because her little I guess her shtick besides the minions was that all her D moves, like all her dust moves, consumed meter, and she had a series of moves out her dust attacks and her directional inputs. So she didn't have a traditional 2D like in Exit. So character 2D would do knocks, Lady Will would knock you down like in this game too. Instead, her 2D was a DP. It worked as an invulnerable button. So in order to get knockdowns, you would do 3H. So this normal you see her doing right here, this is her returning 3H move right here. And you see her attacking with her minion out the 3H right there. So it seems though when she does her 3H, her minion picks up for her, like after she gives the minion command. You see this too. She also, I'm pretty sure this is the attack command, because she has a guard command and it's blue. So going on visual cues, the blue you'll see later in the trailer, I think this is her attack command. But she does 3H, she commands the minion to attack. The minion attacks, and then with that, just her returning normal right here, her 6H. Hold on. That was a little mistake. We're good. But right here you see her return normal. So this is her 6H right here, the long range normal right there. As you can see, that returns. And right there at the beginning of that clip, if you can catch it, right here you see her, she doing her 5H. So this is one of her returning normals too, her 5H. So she has 5H, and then she sets down her minion. And then one thing that's cool about this Jacko, that as you can see, she kicks her minion and her minion flies. So another thing to note is that how Jacko got her servants out in the battlefield in Exit was that she would set down a house and the servant will come out the house. In this whole trailer, you don't see a single house. You just see her set a minion and the minions out, and like they have like numbers. So they're number 1, 2, 3. So my guess is that they can there's about only 3 minions at a time on the screen. But a really cool thing you see her do with her minion right here is that she kicks her minion. So she blows Axel away with 5H. Then she sets on her minion and she kicks her minion, and that's like a little setup right there that hits Axel from far away. So she has like 4 screen far range setup stuff. So that's pretty cool. See a little bit more of like her right here. I'll run back to before, but good thing. Always good to see Jacko again. But right here you just see a little bit of like her in-game sprite and stuff like that. But right here you see more gameplay stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is her kick or slash. And then from here, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is her kick, right? And then from here she does her dust. So she has a different dust animation from Exit actually. So her old dust animation, she would attack with her body. So this is more like kind of a it's extended from her body, but in Exit she would attack with her body. And this one seems like it has a bit more, I want to say it's more range, because she would actually move, like her body moved when she did her old dust. But I would say with this one looks pretty cool, because it looks like it can be mixed in really well for other normals. So it just looks really good right here. And then as you can see, the range from her to Leo, the hitbox is pretty generous, so that's really good. It's really good, right? So she hits Leo, you see her go for her dust right here. Okay, now this is the cool stuff right here. You see a lot of stuff from this little segment. You get a lot, I mean a lot of information. So right now, as you can see, she sets up, we'll do a little bit, break down a little bit play by play. She sets on her servant, boom, she hits the servant, sets on the second servant. This is what I mean by when you see the numbers. So on each shield, you can see the numbers. So you see 1 and you see 2. So she does on the second servant, and what she's ready to do with the servant is, boom, she hits the servant, another normal. Then she sets down another servant, and you see the 3, 1, 2, 3. So you see all the numbers on their shields, and you know they got different faces to distinguish which one it is. You see Nago jumps, right? So she jumps with the servant. She has the ability in Exit also. So what she could do is, she wouldn't pick up her servant, she would pick up the house. So since the house could be destroyed, one thing you could do, like you could pick up the house, move it and set it, or you could, if you want to go for an offensive strategy with Jacko, you could throw her house, and the house counted as a hitbox when she threw it, so you would get hit by the house. So in this game, she picks up the servant themselves. She can't pick up the servants and Exit. She can only pick up the houses. So that's like one of the remnants they have of this character, because it seems though Jacko doesn't have houses anymore. She just straight sets the servants, like I said before. So that's one of her remnants. So right now she picks up the servant, she drops the servant, and she does this. No, two big things happen right here that you're about to see, right? So she kicks the servant, boom. Okay, matter of fact, I think a good way to do it is let it play out. Okay. Did you catch that? I'll let it go one more time. Okay. Okay. Did y'all catch it? We're gonna run it back. We're just gonna look at it. So boom, she sets the servant. She does it again. Right here, right? She throws servant 2 down and it hits Nago in the air. She kicks the servant. Servant 3. Servant 3 bounces up, hits servant 2, and then hits servant 1. And then servant 1 hits Nago. So even though servant 1 was out, she hit servant 3 into servant 2. Servant 2 hit servant 1, and then servant 1 hit Nago and made him block. So you know it counts as the hitbox. The reason why this is really interesting, because she could never do this in Exit. She couldn't use her servants as like a chain reaction. Once the servants were out, they acted independently until their houses were destroyed, or Jack will command them to come back or blow up or something like that, right? She couldn't do stuff like smack the servant and then make the servant go into the player. This is new. Like, this is new for Jacko and Strive. So now what she can do is she can smack her servants into other servants to make them go further or go in new places, right? So another thing that really helps this point is, like, first you see it first, like, a really good example right here. She sets the first servant, she smacks the servant. She couldn't do that before. That's new. She smacks the servant and hits Nago, right? And then the servant recovers. Look at servant 1. Servant 1 recovers. So now servant 1 is an active hitbox until something happens to the servant. I don't think you really see in this trailer how the servants can be dealt with, but I'm going to guess it's going to be like Exit. You just, since you can't hit a house, you just hit the servant and the servant goes away. But she hits the servant hits into Nago, comes in as a hitbox. This is a really interesting part. Look what she does to servant too. So as you can see, when she did it with Axel and she did it with Nago, first she just kicked the servant and the servant went straight horizontal. But with this one, she used a different normal on the servant, and the servant too bounces up and down. So boom boom, he bounces up and down. So you can hit the servant in different trajectories based on what normal you use Jacko to hit the servant with. So, and then when you combo it with this, her hitting servant 3 into servant 2 and servant 2 hitting servant 1, it shows that you can kind of play like what's that game called? Well, I don't know. So a better way to say, you can like slingshot her servants into each other. So like that's another way you can set up and play around Jacko, is like using her servants as like bowling, like as like slingshots to like hit the enemy and stuff. So even when servant 123 is out, they don't have to just act independently. You can hit the servants, and I'm pretty sure you can do it even after the servant's been set. Like, you don't have to do it as soon as the servant's set to hit, because she hit servant 3 a little bit after she set him, right? And then servant 3 went into servant 2 as servant 2 was recovering. So you see servant 2 recovering, and she hit him as servant 2 was recovering, and then servant 3, even though in servant 1, even though servant 1 was fully recovered, got hit again, and then may not go block. So it seems though she can do like a chain, she can do like the she can do the slingshot thing and make the servants hit the opponent even though the servants are out and are already recovered. So that adds a little extra depth into how to play her servants instead of just setting them out and letting them play independently. So the fact that she can hit them and stuff like that is pretty cool. So like, even when her servers are out, she's always in play with her servants, other than like, oh, servers are out, let me do my thing and hope they cover me. She's always out. Or you can play like the first thing I just mentioned, like you could do an exit. So them giving it to Jack was super cool. So just seeing like this, boom, 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 she hit all of her servants, and then they chain reacting even if they all were out. And another thing you see cool with servant 3 is that how she backs up and throws it. So when she backs up with those servant 3, she hits him in the air, so she has enough recovery after she's done laying out the servant to hit him in the air and stuff like that. So like, that's really good. So like, she just wanted to come down and then run in after setting servant 3, she could do that, or she can just hit the servant in the air and then, you know, do whatever you want, get the servant to get the opponent to block, you know, set up some pressure, let the servant recover, and then go in like for pressure and stuff like that. Or she could, you know, like I said, recover, land, and walk in. She could do all of that just from this, which is pretty cool, right? And then you see a good showing of all the serpents right here, stuff like that, 1, 2, and 3 on their shields and stuff like that, and you know, the different faces and you know, the different appearances and stuff like that. And you see a little bit of her taunt right here, which is pretty cool. And you know, you see more Draco story cutscene stuff like that, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome. You see this cool, you know, everybody loved this one. Everybody loved this one time after they seen it. So this is pretty cool, right? All right, so this is some pretty cool stuff right here. So she's fighting Ino, and as you can see, she's doing the command thing. So you see this at the beginning of the trailer. You see Jacko command stuff. So this is really cool, right? So as this command seems different somehow. I'm pretty sure, I think this is the explode command that I was talking about, how she could do like the organ, and actually she would do organ like down as she would hit slash and they could explode, right? So this is cool. She uses the exploding servant to set up as a 4-screen setup to hit Ino after she knocked her away with her 6S, right? So boom, we're gonna watch this from the beginning, right? Right? So right here, she's using her normal, I'm guessing this is slash or the beginning of success, right? And then she's like, okay, so she can cancel her normals to give commands. So that's pretty nice to see, right? Because the command wasn't there before and you didn't see the number before. And this is how you knew in exit also, when the server was about to explode, it will be a timer above the server's head going like 3, 2, 1, and then it would explode. So they brought that back in Strive too, So as you can see, she issues the command from a normal, so especially, I guess they're normal cancelable, right? So that's pretty cool. Or special cancelable. She can cancel it from normals. There we go. That's the right way to say it. So she cancels and she tells them to explode. And then right there, she has enough time out of the hit to cancel, give the command, and then hit again. So I'm guessing this is like maybe like on counter hit or something. This may be on counter hit or something, on regular hit or aerial hit. So she does this, gives the command, knocks them away, right? Because I think the servant picks Ino back up after the first hit, right? Yep. The servant picks Ino up for her to use the same normal again, I believe. No, this is the beginning of 6H, right? Yeah, and she knocks him away. So it goes boom, servant, boom, knock him away. 4-screen setup, which is pretty cool for this character, right? So boom, hits him. The servant hits. Then she does her normal, blasts Ino away, and she kicks the servant just in time. So when the servant's at 1 and then Ino's recovered, she either gets hit or she has to block and wake up. And that gives Jacko enough time to run in. Because as you can see, Jacko has a traditional dash. She doesn't have a step dash, she doesn't have a hover, or she doesn't have a dash at all. She has a traditional dash. So if you just hold 4-4, Jacko runs. And she has a pretty generous run speed from what you can see from this. So it seems though like once it's set up like that, you can get them to block or they get hit and you can run in on them, right? Once you get a hit. So like your reward for getting a hit. So that's pretty cool that she can do it with her service. As you can see, her service can still explode. So I'm pretty sure if she has more than 1 server on the screen, because she can have up to 3 at a time, I believe. So 3 servants at a time. She has up to 3. In exit, depending on how many houses were down, you can have other servers, but you can have more than 3 servers in exit. But I think in this game, you might just have to have 3 on the screen. She could give like the explode command to 3, and knowing how how she can basically slingshot her servants and stuff like that, to like bounce around the screen and stuff like that, and use a different normal change of the trajectory of her servants. It can be pretty scary when you have like the explode command on her servants, right? But as you see, she runs in after the setup. This one is pretty cool, right? And this is pretty cool. This is what I mean by she has different commands. Look at the visual cues. Can you see the different colors and stuff? This is pretty cool, right? So right here, she hits Soul blocks, she sets down her servant, and Soul tries to DP. She was fast enough. That's the one thing I want to talk about, right? So let's just look at it real quick, right? Okay, cool. She sets down servant, and she tells the servant to block. So as you can see, Soul tried to DP. If you couldn't see, I'll try to slow down, right? So Soul tries to DP, right? She sets down servant. Yes, you can see Soul gets in his animation. Soul tries to DP right here, right? But he can't. She issued her servant to block. As you can see, you see the servant blocking. You can see remnants in the command. Like, look at the visual cues. She tells the servant to block, and the servant blocks that. So like, I don't know if I want to call it a parry, because I don't think she can act as soon as it happens. So I don't want to call it a parry, but she does get a block from it. So the servant blocks that, and she runs in because it seems though Soul got guard crushed, or he's in stun. It seems like he got guard crushed, right? And I don't think it's not staggered. He got guard crushed from what it looks like. And she does the hit. I think just her 2K. She does her 2K, and she runs in. And she does a throw from it. But the thing that really gets me about this move is how fast she issues the command from when she set down the servant. So it may be a thing like when you set down servant, you have a brief like frame window to decide if you're going to issue a command immediately or you're just going to act independently from the servant. So that may be a thing that happens with Jack-O, with her character. So I thought that was super interesting, like how fast she set the counter out. Like she had enough time, like she did it instantaneously. Yeah, and then from that, she's able to run in and like get some pressure started. She does like her 2K, and she goes in and she's like, okay, let me see what I'm gonna do next. And she goes for a throwing Soul, so that she has enough time to act from stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So it's just like, you know, being aware is really gonna help her out a lot, like a lot. And then you see a little bit more of her animations and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure this is probably her victory screen. You see her super screen like that, all that other good stuff, right? And I guess another quick thing I want to point out about Jack-O is that she has, I guess you could say, 2 play states. So if you look right here, like if you look right here and stuff like that, if you look at Jack-O's face, it's better shown. Like I could, in the Nago clip, you see her face right here. She has her mask on, right? She's a mask on. But when you go here, like when she's fighting against Ino and then she fights against Soul, her mask isn't on. So as you can see, her mask isn't on anymore. So I wonder, I don't know exactly what the differences could be, and I think trying to like speculate that difference could be like take so like there's so many possibilities of what that could be. But if more than likely, I think it could be something more than an aesthetic change. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, like I said, it could be something more than an aesthetic change. But depending on what that is, it could change her moveset just a little bit. Like maybe it changed like some of the properties on her normals and stuff like that. But I really couldn't tell. But one thing I do know is that depending on how she plays, depending on what happens with her, her mask is on or off. So that's pretty cool. So I really want to point out that thing, because that was like a cool detail. Like you can see she plays with her mask on and she plays with her mask off. So that's something that's really interesting about like this trailer overall and seeing her, right? And then once again, we see like all the cool animations and all that other stuff. You see a super animation, like they do the trailer all the time. You never see the super animation through. You only see like a little preview of it, right? And then Jack-O, right? So there's one more thing I want to check out real quick, and that is her character description page on the Exeter website, because the Exeter website kind of gives you some cool stuff, right? When you're looking at characters and all that other cool stuff. So this is Jack-O's page. In here, they tell you like her star level. So if you don't know, in Shroud they have this thing called like the easy to use meter. So like it shows like their it basically shows how easy or hard they are to play based on the stars that they have. So Jack-O's a 2-star, so the closer you are to 1-star, typically the harder. The closer you are to 5-star, typically the simpler. So Jack-O has 2 stars. So I guess she, and her description is actually technical. So the description they gave her like, oh, she's a technical character and stuff like that. So that's basically what that star means right here. And this is her little description. Dominates the battle with an assembly of servants, as you saw in the trailer before, trailer first time, and a hyper energetic martial fighter. So Jacko is an artificial life form created by Oscar Krutz to prevent the arrival of justice in their hero destruction. You learn a lot about this in the story mode of Excerpt. As justice was created using Arya, Soul's love interest in the past as a base, Jacko managed to prevent justice awakening by fusing with Arya's soul within justice. It was at this time Arya's soul was fully restored within Jacko. However, Arya's consciousness has yet to fully manifest, leaving Jacko in an unstable state where her personality remains unchanged. Although she tries her best to be cool and collected in her demeanor, she tends to act childlike when her emotions get the best of her. For that reason, she wears a special mask to keep her composure during battle. So that's pretty cool. So that right here, you hear a bunch of the story stuff about Jacko. You learn a lot about this in the Excerpt story. The Arc System Works actually put up on their YouTube like all the Excerpt chapters, so you can actually go through and watch that to see exactly what they're talking about and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to like label out her story and stuff and give her personality to what she does and how she fights and all that good stuff, right? And then right here, you see pictures. So this is like stuff you really didn't see in the trailer. So I guess this is her like her intro on a different stage. Then right here, you see her fighting Nago, and this right here, she's issuing another command. And I guess from like the visual cues, you can see the command is to like attack and stuff like that. So you see her issuing more commands with her servants and stuff like that, attacking Nago Ryuki. So you know the servants have a hitbox and they can hit depending on what she say. And then here's another command. So she got the servant to block Ino's chemical love. I wonder if that means that, I don't think Ino will get guard broken from the air. We obviously can't see, but we do know that she can't get hit with the guard up, and she probably won't get hit anyway because how chemical love works. But she can't get hit because she's in that her servant has blocked the move. So you see her in another visual cue issuing her servant, hey, block this. So that's pretty cool. So it seems it can block grounded and aerial attacks. So I'm guessing all attacks in general, it just blocks if she tells it to block and the move comes in contact with the shield. And then another screenshot we see is actually a return room for Excerpt. So I'm thinking this is her. So this is one of her supers. So I'm thinking this is her full circle punch in the air. I think this is that returning super right here. But she does have this super where she puts you in like this little cast and she spins you down and she drops you. So that's pretty cool. Actually, if we really want to know about that, I guess we just can boot up Excerpt to see, because I really want to know about that. Okay. That's something I really need to know about. So, what was it? First thing you game in there, right? Go to the corner, Jacko. Does he have this move, right? Is it this one? I think this is it, right? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Why she? Okay, why am I still hitting Roman cancel? Yeah, it's this move. I want to get him in the air though. Hold on. What? I'm pretty sure this is the move, right? Oh, you can do it on the ground? Yeah. This one, yeah, Elson Driver. That could be in the air. Yeah, this Elson Driver. Okay, that's what that move is. So since that move is returning to, so I wonder if that's her Dusk mechanic returns to from that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, but I definitely just wanted to come in. I wanted to check that move and see like for sure what it was. But I guess that's Elson Driver. But yeah, that was a Jacko. That was the Jacko, the little Jacko analysis, stuff like that. She seems like a really cool character, really intact. She seems like she's gonna be a great addition to Shrive, so I'm super excited for that. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming through, you know, and analyzing the character with me. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and or subscribe. And until I see you all next time, hope you all have an amazing day. See you.